Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome back to the 30-day energy boost. I'm really excited to be here with topic number 2 as we launch into week number 2. So if you don't know me, my name is Laura Quinlan-Luntz. I am one of the co-founders of the Simply Serendipity team. And this series was my brainchild. Actually, I just thought, everyone I talked to, I said, what would make a difference in your life? And I don't think anyone didn't say, gosh, I'd like to have a little bit more energy in some shape or form. It might be, I want to be able to sleep more. I want to not have an afternoon lull. In so many ways, I want to be able to focus. Is that possible? And if someone didn't mention it, I'd say, hey, what about energy? And they'd say, yeah, I'm in. For sure. So this week we are going to launch into our second week's topic. And in this live stream, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. And I'm going to share the 4 tips that we will be looking at all week. So if you're brand new to the series, you want to make sure that you grab your workbook. If you're on Facebook, it is in the, file section. If you're seeing it through YouTube or somewhere else, I will share a link so that you can grab it. It's a really nice way of keeping track of what we're doing and where we're working. Okay, so today we're going to talk about nutrition. Now, it's funny. Of course, what you put in your mouth affects your energy, right? I think we all know that. I think we all know processed food isn't going to be really good fuel for our body. Sugar isn't. And in fact, sugar comes with a commensurate crash, right? So as soon as you get that zing, you're also going to get the crash. And the zing isn't always a very efficient zing. It is a very manic kind of zing that we get from it. That's not what we're going to talk about this week. I really wanted to look at some things that might be things you don't know, you're not aware of, and things that might be a little easier tweak that we can do for ourselves. So when you think about it, what we put into our mouth is what we fuel our body with. And I remember back in graduate school, I got my master's degree in exercise physiology. I love the body. But I remember in graduate school, my nutrition professor saying, if you owned a Ferrari, would you put regular fuel into it? And it's funny because of course not, right? Of course not. You'd put premium fuel into your Ferrari. And he said, your body is worth more and is more refined, more valuable than a Ferrari. Why do you put in fuel that isn't going to allow it to function at its highest capacity? Kind of illuminating, isn't it, to think of it that way? So let's talk a little bit about that. So the very first tip we are going to talk about is hydration. Are you hydrating yourself completely? And I actually don't know anyone. I would love it if you comment below if you are totally hydrated. I would love to hear it. I don't know anyone who is. And keep in mind, thirst is not an indicator. Thirst is actually when you're already way beyond and into serious dehydration. Hydration is somewhere between half of your body weight in ounces of water up to a gallon. A gallon is actually ideal, but at least half of your body weight. So if you weigh 140 pounds, that's 70 ounces of water. Are you drinking 70 ounces of water? And other things do not count, okay? Just in general. Kristen, you get 150 ounces. Good for you. Kristen, you are definitely the exception because I know you are really focused on your personal wellness for sure. So know how many ounces your water bottle is. Mine is 16. My goal is actually between 6 and 8 of these water bottles. And I actually keep track. I have a little hashtag, a little post-it that's on right above our water jug where I get my water, and I put hash marks to keep track. Because you know what? It's funny. When I started keeping track, I thought I'd probably do 6 and I would refill it 3 times. I couldn't believe it. I was getting between 3 and 4 a day, but it felt like I was drinking 6. But coffee doesn't count. Soda doesn't count. Even herbal tea doesn't really count. You want to have good water. Now, here's the other thing is you want it to be good. Okay. You want it to be purified water somehow, some way. We drink reverse osmosis. Spring water would be great. Don't drink city water. There is so much in water that is so not safe for you, and that's beyond the scope of this live stream. but just make sure it's purified water. Now, dehydration is connected to so many issues that we're working on. Fatigue, foggy brain, also irritability, depression is attached to dehydration. I think I said low energy. Your energy flow, your chi, your prana, it doesn't flow as well in the body, which is really the basis of your vitality. So getting enough water is huge. Now, luckily with Young Living, we have additional things we can add to it, our vitality oils, that not only make it more interesting so that you'll drink more, because I hear from a lot of people, water is so boring. And so they add things to it, which is great. Lemon juice really affects the flavor. It's really great. However, lemon juice also is acidic and affects the enamel on your teeth over time. So you have to be really careful. So I would recommend citrus oil vitality lines. So lime, grapefruit, lemon, orange, tangerine, citrus fresh. All of those oils actually come from the rind, so they aren't acidic. So they don't affect your teeth, and they actually have added health benefits. Really amazing. Okay, so this is just tip number 1. Tip number 1 is drink enough water. Tip number 2, watch your stimulant intake. Okay, so let's just look at sugar and caffeine. What happens with sugar and caffeine is you get a hit and then you crash. Okay, so that hit is usually, it's a false energy. Sometimes it's a manic energy. We talked about that earlier, so that you're not actually really efficient with this energy. You're kind of shaky and a little bit too much of an oomph, shall we say. And then the crash means you need more sugar or caffeine to get yourself back up. What we want to work on this whole month, and especially this week, is creating a systemic energy support. Meaning your body just functions better and you have natural energy. We're not masking our fatigue with something on top of it like caffeine or sugar. We're actually allowing our body to be fully rested and in its normal energetic state. Stimulants will mask that. We don't want to add stimulants to our body. Now, I know a lot of people are really attached to their coffee. In particular, I read somewhere, and just take a deep breath for coffee drinkers, that the addiction to coffee is in the same place as the brain as cocaine, and the addiction to coffee is stronger than cocaine. So I find that really, really interesting. I'm not here to say you have to get off caffeine, you have to get off coffee or whatever. No, you pick something else for this week if you're really attached to it. But if you're ready, maybe start cutting back. And on Wednesday, I'm going to be sharing some ideas on how to begin cutting back if that's something that you might like to do, if that's what you want to choose this week. Remember, someone's crying, you're cracking me up. So remember though, with this series, I'm encouraging you to choose 1 tip per week. So maybe this isn't your tip. But here's the thing, if you start drinking more water, you may find you don't need as much coffee. It might be a little bit easier. Just saying. So the problem with caffeine and sugar is that it gives you the hit and then the crash, which means you need more. But the other thing I did want to share is with caffeine, not all caffeine is made the same. Now, I know studies differ all over, and I'm telling you, you can find the proof that what you love is the best. And so I'm not here to convince you at all, but at the same time, you may want to explore this. So the caffeine from coffee is reportedly the worst. It deoxygenates the brain, and it's really hard on the brain, and that deoxygenation actually lasts for 24 hours, just in time for your cup the next morning. Tea is definitely better. Black tea is the worst, which is my favorite kind of tea. Green tea is a little bit better. White tea, green tea and white tea are actually really pretty good for the brain. Green tea extract is actually in nitro, which we'll talk about in a moment. They actually give you a really alert energy without as much of the crash. It's really good for the brain. So it's just something to think about. You might want to begin to exchange your caffeine out for other kinds of caffeine and just test it out for yourself. See what you think. All right, tip number 3, food sensitivities. Now, this isn't the kind of food sensitivity that you might be used to. Okay, this isn't like I'm allergic to, or I can't eat gluten, or I can't eat dairy. No, it's not this at all. This is actually a little bit more subtle. And that's to pay attention to the foods that affect you specifically. Okay, so paying attention to how you feel after certain meals. There might be certain meals where you feel extra full, or you feel groggy, or you feel really energized and you feel good. Start to pay attention to the foods you're eating, especially at lunch, and how you feel after lunch. Okay, so lunch, for example, when I started doing raw food smoothies, so I do, and I'll share some of these recipes if you want, post below if you want to see them, like coconut water with spinach and a banana and an avocado and some fruit. My lunch, my afternoon time, I just started to soar. I feel so much better when I do that at lunch, or I have something that's raw, maybe a salad. That makes a big difference for me. Carrots are amazing in my body. I don't really like them, between you and me. They are not my favorite, but I feel really good. I also discovered that I feel really good with raw oatmeal versus cooked oatmeal. Isn't that amazing? It's totally different in my body. And I'm going to do a live stream this week on how to make raw oatmeal. It may affect you differently. You just need to start paying attention. And as you begin to refine your energy levels and pay attention, you're going to notice more and more differences. It's really, really cool. All right. Number 4, let's talk Young Living. There are a few products that are really amazing to support your energy levels that are supplements, okay? So we're going to look at the things you put in your mouth that affect you, and I have 5 different ones. Now, the first 2 are, of course, my Ningxia Red and Nitro. Now, you guys, these are so amazing. I could spend way too much time talking about them. So I'm going to do a separate live stream on these, I think Wednesday night. Check the page for more information. I think it's Wednesday night. I can't remember. I should have checked before I started. Antioxidants are incredibly powerful for your energy. They also support brain health, like off the charts brain support. So both of these are amazing, and I highly recommend them. But again, we'll talk about those Wednesday nights. So these are great ways to support the body, to support your natural energy levels. So they're not putting Teflon coating over fatigue and getting you adrenalized. They're getting the body going, okay, yeah, I can do this, and I can do it on my own, which is really what we want. The next one I wanted to share is Balance Complete. Okay, y'all, Young Living has 4 different smoothie mixtures. Watch your smoothies. So many people are eating smoothies these days, but y'all, so many of the smoothies are laden with sugar and fillers. I recently learned that there was a smoothie out there, bought at GNC. I don't actually know the brand, so I can't share it, but actually had sawdust in it, filler. Isn't that disgusting? It's really gross. Now, that just adds to the angst. This is super clean. It is sweetened with, it's Ningxia Wolfberry, and then it's sweetened with stevia. Gary Young really, really likes stevia, which is it's a supportive sweetener for the body. It's actually really nice in the body. So this one is the one we choose to use. We also like Pure Protein Complete. There's vanilla and chocolate, or actually it's vanilla chai and chocolate. This is our preference because it's meal replacement, and we use these for breakfast. There's also Sleek Shake. Sleek Shake is also meal replacement. And what that means is there's a whole bevy of nutrients in it so that it actually can replace a meal rather than just being a dose of protein like the protein shakes. Then the last 2 I wanted to share specifically for energy is Master Formula. Master Formula is Young Living's multivitamin. What makes Young Living supplements so amazing, and those of you who've heard my live streams know I talk about this a lot, is they're infused with essential oils. What that does is it actually softens the cell walls in our bodies, which allows the exchange of toxins and nutrients. So what happens, all of the cells in the body expel their byproduct, their waste, and then they allow the absorption of nutrients, which feeds your cells. Okay. Now, the challenge is those cell walls can be really hard, and they get harder as you get older. Okay, it's part of the aging process. What essential oils do is they actually soften that wall, which allow the exchange so that more of the nutrients get absorbed into your body. What happens with supplements is so many of our supplements actually go right out the bottom. You just get expensive pee, a good amount. In fact, high quality supplements, the most you can hope for is around a 35% absorption rate. Some is 0. Goes right through the body. You're totally wasting your money. Young Living has gotten the absorption rate somewhere between 75 and 85%. It's amazing. You guys, it's really amazing. And not only that, but they also have different capsules. Can you see there are 4 capsules in here and 3 different kinds of capsules, which allows them to dissolve in the right place in your digestive system, which then allows the body to absorb. They dissolve in the right place. Let's just put it that way. Okay? So the multivitamin is master formula. It's amazing. Amazing. And the last one I wanted to share is multigreens. Greens are such an important part of our diet, y'all. Incredible part of our diet. So important for energy, for the body it needs that kind of fuel to fuel the energy. Nobody gets enough greens. We just don't. Multigreens help with that. And there's also bee pollen, chlorophyll, other kinds of really wonderful green stuff in the multigreens. I take them after lunch. And what you want to do is actually just play with the body and take 2 for about 3-4 days. See how you feel. Take 3 if you don't feel any different. Take 4, take 5. I know people who take 10 to 12 a day. So just play with it and see how much your body needs. Okay, I had a question here. What do I eat for breakfast? I eat either eggs that I cook over a bed of greens, either Swiss chard or spinach, and then I sprinkle it with Himalayan pink salt and Juva spice. Or I have my raw oatmeal, but I have to make it the night before. So when I forget, I have the eggs in the morning. But I love raw oatmeal, and I'll share my recipe for that. But I make it the night before, and it soaks all night, which makes it soft. And then I do my smoothie actually at lunch, because that really helps me skip that afternoon lull so I can be really efficient all day. All right, guys, I hope this helped you with this. I am so looking forward to supporting you this week and getting you all excited about supporting your nutrition. Remember, you need to pick one. And starting Friday, we will do another 3-day challenge for a giveaway. And I will be announcing the giveaway for last week tomorrow at noon. So you guys have till tomorrow at noon to let me know whether or not you achieved all 3 days. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to comment below. I'll be happy to pop back in and answer questions, and join us all week as we talk more about each of these tips. Have a great day.